welcome to the Worship Leader Hangout podcast. I have a really good friend. Well, he's become a really good friend of mine. His name is Jimmy Cooper. He heads up a YouTube channel called Casey Neistat. No, Peter McNope. I'm getting messed up. Hey, Worship Leader.
That's it. I thought today it's Hey, Worship Leader Hangout.
Today is Hey, Worship Leader Hangout. Hey, you know, I got to say this on the podcast because it's funny. So I was talking with Matt McCoy the other day because he filmed a podcast with me, and he said something. He asked a question about the channel and this and that, and he called it "Hey Worship Leader," and I didn't call him out on it because I was like, "This is funny." So I said, "So yeah, at Worship Leader Hangout, da 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 da," and I could kind of see his face go, "Oh yeah, whoops."
Oh, whoops, yeah.
So you clearly had more influence on him than I did, but
that's just because I had a podcast first. I just beat you to it.
I know, that's fine.
That's all it was. Anyways,
yeah, it was a good time. But man, I'm excited to hang out with you today and just talk worship leading, but just catch up a little bit. We were last together in Chicago, and you've fully recovered from Chicago.
Oh man, that was bad. They don't even need to know about that.
They don't need to know, but you fully recovered, and you're here on the podcast as a guest, and it's so good to have you here. It's hard not to say I'm glad to be here, but I am glad to be here because I feel like I'm in your studio.
Yeah,
your studio looks great.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna do a tour one day. I keep saying that it'll probably be a year before I actually get a tour video up, but
yeah, I would like to do that too, but this is it. Like,
yeah,
you pretty much seeing what the studio is.
I've been in that room.
Yes, you have. Yeah,
and it looks good in person as well as on camera.
It does, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a really cool light over here that I took out of the shot.
Oh, okay.
It's the one that I did for a stage design. That's probably the coolest thing in here because I made, it has like 5 or 6 lights on it. Oh, yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty cool, but I'm using that one right now.
Do people on your channel care about lighting? See these lighting strips here?
No, they do care about lighting. That's all they watch.
These are very cheap. I bought 12 of these strips for like $75, so it's pretty inexpensive. They don't flash, so that's good. But they were way too bright, so I bought tinted tape. You can buy tape that's tinted.
Did you really?
And I taped it over there. And then this one's kind of blue. It's the same light. It's just laying up there. And I wish they were all that color, but I don't have any.
Are they all? They're not RGB?
No, they don't even
dim. So you have one blue one. They don't dim at all?
No, I bought a dimmer for it, and then they started flashing and doing weird things.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you go budget lighting. But hey, it looks better now because before it was just like
blasting. In your face. Yeah, the tinted tape. Tinted tape.
Tinted tape. It's somewhere. It's in a drawer.
So it's, when you unroll it, it's like clear tape, but it's tinted, like tinted windows.
Yeah.
So you could tint your windows in your car.
It was off a website for vehicles. You could do like bar lights.
Budget.
Yes, exactly.
That would be. Oh yeah, that's cool. Anyway, I didn't know that. Yeah. I didn't even know that tape existed. That's a good stage design tip.
That's what I'm saying. And it took me a while to find it because you type it in and like nothing comes up. Everything I wanted, I couldn't find it, and I finally found it at like an auto online thing where they have different size tapes for like taping over, smoking out like your headlights and stuff. You ever seen those where your tail lights get it all dark? It was that kind of website, and they had long strips of it. Anyways.
Oh wow, that's cool. No, that's good because
fun times.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to use bar lights like that or use the LED strips for some reason, if they're having an issue with it being way too bright, I mean, that's a great way to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, if you get the right strips, you can turn the brightness down, turn the intensity level down. But
that is true. That would be the
cool,
number one tip. Don't get these. Pay for what you actually need.
Yeah. Those are cool though. Have you thought about painting the cables the same color as the wall?
I don't like that at all. But I'll do that one day for the tour video.
Yeah, during the tour video.
Yeah, exactly. With a little Q-tip, just painting the cable.
So I want people to know who you are if they don't already.
My name's Jimmy Cooper. I'm from Hey Worship Leader. Me and Chad met. Man, you just reached out to me on Instagram because I was having an event at my church, and you're like, I want to come to it. was like, sure. You're like, can I sleep on your couch? And I was like, sure, let's do it. And
That's me inviting me to your house.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we did it, and it was awesome, and now we're really good friends, and we get to hang out in Chicago and travel and do behind the scenes vlogs together sometimes, at least once.
At least once.
At least
maybe
once.
maybe again. So we definitely need to go back to that conference.
I would love to.
And,
I would love to.
Maybe others, but definitely that one for sure. So let's start from the beginning, Jimmy. You are a worship leader. Are you full time?
I am full time. Yep.
You're full time still. I don't know how you put out the content you do. I've got to praise you for that. You're amazing. I can only do like one thing a year, apparently. But or that people watch. And you started out as a worship leader. So how long have you been a full-time worship leader?
Oh man, let's see. I'm about to celebrate 6 years of the church I'm at. I'm full-time here. I wasn't full-time at the job before. I've been full-time on and off, but I've been a worship leader since about 2009. And probably actually a little bit before that, but like in the context of leading a full team, 2009. I led worship by myself acoustically a little bit before that. I bought my first guitar in 2002 with my graduation from high school money. That guitar right there, actually, the acoustic.
Wow.
Anyway, so that's how I became a worship leader. Longer story than that, but yeah.
Of course, yeah. We all have those long drawn out. So I mean, it would take me 20 years to tell you my story.
Exactly.
All out. So
every detail.
Every detail of it, right?
Yeah.
So I totally get it. And hold on, let me ask this before we go forward. Do you remember the first time you ever led worship? Just ever? Like you were asked, hey, Jimmy, will you lead worship and plan music and then do it?
I do need to tell this story because this is one of the first times where I was in a full band context. And so I got invited to play acoustic guitar for this college service worship band they were starting to put together, and like whoever needs an acoustic guitar player, it's like that's the one thing they didn't have. It's just so random. I look back at it and I'm thinking it was totally a God thing just to have me in the right place at the right time. But the guy who was I don't remember, I guess he was just singing, he was the worship leader. He was also a really good drummer, but he was not drumming. He brought in another drummer, and it got awkward. I had never been a part of a rehearsal before, but that drummer just wasn't cutting it, apparently. I was not even good enough to realize that. And he like cut him right then and there in the middle of rehearsal.
That's amazing.
And was like, hey, and then he looked at me. He's like, hey, Jimmy, can you finish singing these songs? I'm going to go back and play drums and we'll come up with another plan. But there never came another plan. That just
that's what it was.
And from there on, I became a worship leader. No, but I sang the songs. He still ran like the rehearsals and planned songs, but just played drums because he was a terrific drummer. And then through a couple years, that transition, we did that service for a while, and it just morphed into God stirring in my heart that I actually wanted to do this. I want to lead worship. I would like to lead a band, and that's how it started, and then it's formed over the years from there. But yeah, it was just kind of funny that he kicked that guy out like the first rehearsal in the middle of it, and this is my first experience. I'm like, this is awkward. I'll sing, man. Don't kick me out.
That's crazy, dude. Don't kick you out. No, it's one thing being a musician that works with the musicians that you are as well, like whatever you play. So I'm a bass player. I work with bass players because I don't play bass while I lead worship. But it can be difficult, and I've definitely hurt some people along the line just because I've wanted that position to be really good, and that you learn how to cope with maybe slightly less skill in that type of person. In whatever you play. You have to learn that because not everybody, if you are exceptional, not everybody's going to be as good as you. If you're just okay, then it doesn't matter. Like I'm just an okay keyboard player, so I want a better keyboardist. I'm actively looking for a better keyboardist. Dude, right now.
You are not an okay keyboard player. You are amazing.
I'm getting there. I'm making progress as a keyboardist.
Yeah.
But I want a better one. My first time leading worship was a lot less glamorous. I mean, it was just me and a guitar. Yeah. And I was in front of a group of kids, and it was an amazing thing. I'm actually going to tell this story with David because we're actually talking about this more specifically in an upcoming podcast. So, tune into that.
So what about your first experience, like leading a band, like that first day, or how did it morph into that?
So that's actually a great question because I didn't really ever lead a band until I led a band as an MD in college. I didn't really. Oh, okay. No. I'll take that back. My last year-ish at the church I grew up at, I was kind of the main worship leader, and I played electric guitar. And I used to play electric guitar. And I led the band, and I didn't have any idea what I was doing. And I remember the girlfriend that I had at the time asked me, why are you trying to sound like a black guy when you sing? I was like, does it sound good? She's like, yeah, it sounds good, I guess. And I'm like, okay, well then we're good.
There you go.
And those are just some like bits and pieces of that experience. Like I even tried to do a lot of Israel songs because he was just such an inspiration to me at the time.
He's like getting better and better too.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, he's just, he's looking better and getting better with age.
His vocals are insane. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. So I remember trying going to another level with my bass player, a drummer, and me as an electric guitarist. We had no keys. We had no tracks, no clicks. And we literally had 3 modulations in the song. And I'm going to another level. And then went, I'm going to. And I was, bar chord and everything. This was back when I knew how to play the guitar. And I played it.
Nice.
I don't even know. I mean, if I had to listen to that now, I'm sure I would just be like, wow, that
Cringe.
Kid, what are you doing right now? But then again, you never know because I put everything I had into it. So that would be the first band that I led, just as a high school student. And then, that's my experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I first started in that same band, growing into becoming the leader as it transitioned and not knowing how to, no one prepared me. I didn't know how to talk to a drummer. I didn't know how to talk to a bassist or say, I wasn't a trained musician. And so I was just doing my best, and I could sing and play guitar, but that was about it. But I remember after that one drummer I was just talking about left, we had some other drummers, and this one drummer had 2 beats. A fast one and a slow one. So no matter what song we played, that's all we ever got. And I just remember
which beat you want.
Yeah. Well, one time we were starting the slow song, and he started with the fast beat, and I was just no. And I turned around, and he's just going at it, and I'm like, "Can you not see that this is horrible?" And I just wanted to run off stage. I waited till the song was over, and then I was like, boom, and I was emotional. I had all these emotions inside, why did that guy just sabotage this whole service by not preparing?
No kidding.
And oh my gosh! And it all this anger came up, and I was like, "Whoa! I don't want that feeling anymore. I want to help people." And so, anyways, that was a learning experience from myself, from leadership, knowing how to lead a band and tell them what's expected. And man, I just feel like you say, you don't want to have to go back and see what you were like back then, but all those learning experiences got me and you where we are today, where things are a lot easier, and I care more about people than I ever have. And then it's just God has to bring us through those yucky moments sometimes.
In a lot of ways, you're right. It is easier, but then again, it sometimes doesn't get easier. I still have to put in the work to have a good band, and to have a good team, and a team that's dedicated and wants to be here. You still have to continue to push the culture that you want. And I'm realizing that more right now because especially our tech team, a lot of them are new, and we haven't had an established tech team. That's something that we are continually building here, and to have dedicated tech people is very important to me. And so I'm having to have tough, not like horrible conversations. Like I'm genuine and I'm nice and I'm like, hey, this is what I need. This is what I want. And if you want to do this and you want to be here, if you want to ask your bosses not to put you on the schedule for Thursday night, if you want to, like these are the things you're going to have to do to be a part of this team.
Yeah.
Is basically what I'm saying. Because a lot of them are younger and they work in the evenings. Some are older and they work later. They have to work later. I was like, if you want to be here, you will make a way.
Yeah.
And I want you to want to make a way. But if you can't and you don't, or you don't, then let's find something else. That's these are the conversations I'm having to have right now. And it stinks, but I guess it doesn't stink because it's like I'm learning how to lead a team and how to be an actual leader and bring people along with me. But also it's just tough because it's like, man, I want to be everybody's friend. But you can't be everybody's, friend, like buddy in those situations. You got to lead them.
Right.
But anyway.
Yeah. Well, you said something that, like is it easier now than it was before? And you were talking about how much more work you put in. And I was like, well, that is definitely true. I think when I first started, I didn't realize the amount of work it would take to make things easy. Like I would just come unprepared. Maybe I would prepare myself, but I didn't prepare anybody else. And I think over the years, once you build systems, it becomes a little easier. You have rhythms, but there's a lot of work that goes into creating culture. Resourcing your team well so they do show up prepared and spending that time like you said, you can't be everybody's buddy friend all the time. I don't even have the capacity for that. I got like 35 people in my, on the full team, and those aren't even the people that are in my small group, So, I don't have the capacity to be like buddy with everybody, but I do want them to know that I care, and it takes time to do that. And if you're just pressed for time all the time, the first thing to go is like kindness, gentleness, the fruit of the Spirit. Ever heard of it?
Yeah.
And that's important for us.
We read some of that yesterday in the green room.
Yeah.
We talked about anyway, that I could go into that, but you're right. And you have to learn those things to be a good leader. And one thing I am learning is that you may feel like as a worship leader, you may feel like, well, how do I be everybody's friend? Or how do I, if people are going to follow me, how are they going to do that if they don't like me? And if I'm not their friend, or if I'm, and what I'm learning is that you have to be a spiritual leader more than you are a friend. Yeah. And they're going to follow you as a spiritual leader almost as if you're a friend, or even better than as if you were their friend. And what I mean by friend is like a close relationship. You can be their friend, but so what I'm seeing is when you are a spiritual leader, when you challenge them spiritually on a regular basis, whether it's as a big group or one-on-one, they will follow you and listen to you and serve the ministry that you're leading probably better in those situations than if they were just a buddy.
Yeah, because I feel like it comes down to trust. And, there's people I trust that I'm not friends with, but I still trust them, And I guess there's people that I'm probably close to that I would call friends, but I don't really have a trust level, or I know them well enough to know there's certain areas of their life I can't trust. So they don't necessarily go together, but we always think, we got to be their friend. But yeah, and I think the best way to build trust is exactly like you said, is like lead them to Jesus and show them that you're authentic, you want to be there, and that you care about them. And what I've noticed over the years is that once that trust is being built and people start liking you as a person, whether they like your like personality or not, but they like, okay, I can stand to be around this person. I trust them. I want their leadership in my life. Then that covers those times when we make mistakes, But if you start off being like a drill sergeant or, not really caring, then as soon as you do something that they don't like, well, then it's a completely different thing, because you don't have that trust built up. And so I'm always thinking, and I've been, like I said, almost 6 years at this church, and I'm still thinking of ways like I want my people to trust and not to lose trust in me over time. And so I think that's very important.
Absolutely. So what compelled you to start Hey Worship Leader? So you've been, I assume you've been a full-time worship leader for a while. You've consumed online content. Well, I guess that's like really the only way we consume content nowadays. But you've consumed stuff online, other people's channels about worship leading or anything. Like I guess like what possessed you to want to start?
I think about this all the time. I talked to Katie about it because I've crossed over like 3 years back in August. So like August 23rd is my yearly anniversary for YouTube.
I do want to say you've reached a far greater level than we were at 3 years. Like far greater. Like you're doing an exceptional job, and I think people see that and they know that.
Awesome.
And it doesn't matter how it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. Like to know, well, how long you been doing this? About 3 years.
Yeah, a little over 3. Yeah.
Like I don't even know what your subscriber count is now, but I know it's over 20, right?
It's a little less than that. But
okay. So
we're like 14.1. Yeah. I'm almost at 15. That's my next thing. 15,000. Yeah.
Oh, you're almost at 15. So but still, we weren't even, I remember hitting the 10,000 for us and just freaking out, but saying, well, it took what it took. It took a long time, and we were just kind of in our own little world and niche of I didn't know anybody that did anything like what we do. And then I found Jake and what's his name? What is his name? Shear Brady. Oh, yeah. I found him. I thought, wow, I'll never reach that level. So we'll just do what we do. And he had like 30 something at that time.
Wow.
That's crazy. No, it was, and anyway. So like, what was the day that you were like, okay, I want to make a channel, and just talk through that. And
well, I think just to give your viewers just a brief history, a little over 3 years ago, I went through a kidney transplant. So I had a transplant. I used to work construction. So my wife stays at home. I work at a church. You know how much churches pay. So I need extra income. And I used to work construction with my dad all my life. I'm a carpenter. And when I had that transplant for like over a year, I wasn't allowed to lift very much weight. So I couldn't do labor anymore. And just looking back, you can see how God was doing things and just setting it up at the right time. And I had like our old office building at the church burnt down, and so I had some personal items in there and got a little bit of insurance money, and it all just happened at the same time. I had just found like Peter McKinnon and Casey Neistat and just like consuming that kind of content for the first time. And I was like, man, I would love to do this for worship leaders. I would love to just, I was already at my church pouring into worship leaders, and this statement hit me. I had like 5 guys I was pouring into, and I thought, man, if God sent 10 more, I wouldn't have the capacity to do it. But if I could find something to scale, like get content out to more people, that might be beneficial. So all that was floating through my head. I got enough money to buy my first camera, and I wasn't allowed to work construction. And so all that hit at the same time. And I was like, I'll just go start YouTube. I just wrote down like 30 video ideas, I thought. And I was like, oh, this will be easy. So I bought this stuff. I bought some lights, and I've never been on camera before. And I turned on the camera for the first time, and I was like, after like 2 months of prep, it felt like, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I was looking in the camera, I would start talking, and then I would look back and watch it, and I was like, oh, this is horrible. And I finally, that full day of recording, made a video and brought it home to Katie, and she was like, I don't know, is that you? That doesn't even seem like you. You're trying to be someone else. And I was like, I know, it's so hard. And so I never even posted that video. I don't even know where it is. I thought I saved it just for old time's sake, but I can't find it anymore. But anyways, that's kind of what started it. And I was like, I didn't want to give up. I was like, I want to do this. I have the time, as far as like, I need to do something. I want to see if I can build an income and mesh that with my passion, which is leading worship and pouring into worship leaders. So I just wanted to continue doing it. So I stuck with it, and I'm still sticking with it, and not really worried about, like you said, the subscriber count. You always keep an eye on that kind of stuff. And
you do. Yeah.
More subscribers is like more people you're impacting. But like you said, I'm just trying to post like 2 videos a week and then let YouTube take it from there, because I can't, it's kind of hard. And I've always heard that consistency, like Brian Wall said at the conference, he was like, hey, you want to know how to grow to 850,000 subscribers? Post, I don't remember how many videos he said a week. He's like, post 5 videos a week for 12 years and you'll get there,
Yeah.
Something like that. So I'm just trying to be consistent, and I've loved it. The community here, like, people are engaged, and I get tons of questions, and a lot of my stuff, like as well, like searching for gear topics is what brings the most views, and so a lot of my videos are more around gear, especially guitar gear, because that's what I do. And but then from there, I'm able to have like good conversations, usually in private through email or direct message or something, and just see how, like, I'm just always encouraged to see how God is actually like making what I thought could happen 3 years ago is like, it's happening, right? I'm in the middle of it right now. And so I've been just trying to enjoy that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'm enjoying watching it grow and watching it happen.
I remember when we first met, I had 300 subscribers.
You only had 300?
I think in your video, because you had me on the end of the open door behind the scenes video. You did a screenshot of my channel, and I think it said 317.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Man, I don't know. I guess I just saw potential in what you were doing, and
yeah, well, I appreciate it.
I wanted to.
And I remember getting a bump of subscribers from that little video, so I was like, "Wow, thanks, Chad."
Oh, really? That's cool. You talking about the behind the scenes one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun video to make. Yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing with those behind the scene videos, but I made another one just recently.
Yeah, I was to say they're getting good. I just remember our video. It was just you and me walking around, and you asked me a question, and I would point you to the person who knew the answer, because it was never me.
Yeah, I remember that. I love it, and I so wish I had somebody like that here, where I could just lead worship.
Lead worship.
I dive into all that tech stuff and had to learn it. I mean, it's funny how our channels turn us into tech people.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, and it's like, well, we just want to talk about worship leading, and then we ended up, 3-4 years later, and now we're talking about all the technology behind worship leading.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what people want to see, but it's almost like, well, maybe that's what people struggle with the most. Like, what do I buy? What do I use? Because anybody can read the Bible and learn how to be a great person.
Right.
I mean, well, they should. Or anybody can watch, I don't know. There's just a lot of ways, I guess, to get, like, how to lead a team. Yeah. Even though we say that we would like to, that could be our only content, and thousands and thousands of people watch it, but it just doesn't happen.
It doesn't. And that's fine.
And speaking of, so this is a verse of the day.
Okay.
And this is from the Y. Every time I walk out of the Y, I grab a verse of the day. I just found these in the car when I went and got my earpods. So speaking of leading our teams, I am doing a new thing.
Okay.
Or I guess I should say, speaking of leading spiritually on this channel, I'm doing a new thing where almost every video, I might forget, but almost every video I'm going to read a verse of the day. So today's verse of the day came from picking it up out of a bowl of verse of the days. And you wouldn't believe what I got, because it's very cliche.
I'm so excited.
I personally don't believe anything in the Bible is cliche. I think that it was inspired, written word of God. So it's okay if it's read a million times.
Right.
But I believe we need to hear this every day, because I'll tell you that in a second. But it's, for I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord. Actually, this is a different translation. Check this out. So it says, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord. Thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end.
There you go.
So this one was a little different than, our usual. I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you, this and that, and a hope and a future. But it doesn't matter. But it's Jeremiah 29:11. I thought it was funny because this is the verse that sat in a little frame on my counter in the bathroom growing up, and I would read this like almost every morning, brushing my teeth or every
Yeah.
night before I went to bed. And I'm like, yeah, all right, so God has a plan for me. And God has a plan for you, Jimmy, and he knows exactly what you're doing and where you're going and the
Yeah.
lives you will impact, even through talking about guitar tech. I mean,
Yeah.
your personality, the person, the pastor, the leader that he's put in you comes out even through those, and especially when you talk to people one-on-one.
Yeah.
So, don't ever underestimate what you do and the impact that
appreciate
you're
it.
going to make, and you're already making. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about that for sure.
Yeah, appreciate that.
So oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just say that verse is so timely, talking about plans and like I'm like looking back, I couldn't have planned all these steps, but then God has me here, and looking back and appreciating that is just it helps you stay grateful and humbled.
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
really does. And because that was a very cliche verse, I reached back in the bowl and got another one.
Okay.
I was like, well, I don't want that verse. I know that verse.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's just funny. But this one is Luke 2:10. You can probably guess where this is going. And the angel said unto them, fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. So thank God he sent his son
That's right.
to die on the cross for our sins. So I'm glad we're in that season. I don't know when this podcast will go. It might be after Christmas, to be honest with you.
But right now it's Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Right now it is Christmas. You can see by
That's
our
right.
Christmas lights we have in the background. You have light bars, and I have
Yeah.
Christmas light.
I was gonna
One
decorate
singular.
with like a
Yeah,
little
you
Christmas
should.
tree, but I don't have one. I need to go get one.
Yeah.
Man.
What is you should have, because you put out videos much more regularly than I do, so you really should have. What is next though for Hey Worship Leader?
Man, so I've been getting into course creation, and that's something I think I want to dive deeper into, which just kind of continues that passion I was talking about, like pouring into worship leaders and being able to do it on a greater scale. And so I want to keep providing, value on YouTube. But the thing about YouTube is you have to sit through ads. You have to try to find, I've watched plenty of videos and I'm like, oh, what channel
Yeah.
was that on? And I forget. And so,
Yeah.
we are super fans of our own channels, but, realistically, people like, oh, I remember your face. What was your channel?
Yeah,
Church
very
Front?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I lead church now. And it's funny because Alex, who you just did you just do a podcast with Alex or
Yeah.
interview? Okay.
Engaging.
So okay. I'll learn it later. You'll have to teach me later. But I'm actually sitting on a podcast with him next week, by the
Okay.
way. So I'm excited about that. But he didn't know my name at the
you go.
conference, but
Yeah.
he knew me.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's like we might think, oh man, they should know every detail of every video, but
Right.
most people don't. And then you'll find that random one, like
Yeah.
the guy I met the other day that literally lives, not too far from me. Is like, yeah, I remember when you did this video and you said this and that. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Wow.
people watch. There are people
Yeah.
watching. This is crazy.
Yeah, exactly right. Like I've heard, like no one knows our content more than us because we've edited it. We've watched every video at least 4 times because you go through that process of chopping it up and all the steps. So like we know our content the most, but then other people, you do meet people where they know your content more than you because they're watching videos that are 2 and 3 years old that are brand new to them. But I'm like, I don't even remember saying that. What?
I know. I know. It's scary. Like I have people watching 2 stage designs ago because I haven't posted my current stage design.
You
And
need
to be
get on
honest,
that.
but I got to be honest with you. I'm scared of that.
Why is that?
I'm legitimately because it's very complex, and the idea of making a video just scares me. Like I'm just like I'm already overwhelmed just thinking about the video because I want to tell people how to make it, but I literally learned how to make it as I was making it,
Right.
and
You
so
should
it's
just
hard
go
to.
around with your phone like this, be like, well, I did that, and I did that.
That would be
Good
very
luck.
reminiscent. Yeah, that would be very reminiscent to my first stage design video. It's like you could do this, you could do this. This is what I did.
Yeah.
But then again, that one has probably more views than all of them.
Wow.
But still, I know you're right. I do need to do it. So I've decided, this is kind of exciting for me because now it's not too late. I've decided it's staying up for one more year because it was so complex and kind of expensive. But we are redoing our stage, the actual stage itself. Okay. And we have a portable stage, and we're making the portable stage better, I should say. Like, we're making it into an actual stage, but using the portable stage as like the sub foundation of it. So I still have time, so I'm going to fix a few things on the current design, make the stage. I'll have 2 different videos probably with that. Like, I don't know why you would want to, but you could turn your portable stage into a regular stage. So I'm gonna probably do a silly video about that, just because, like, who would do this? Well, I would.
I would.
Yeah. Anyway, so all right. So you've gotten more into courses.
I've done one. I've completed my first course. It's about the Pod Go, and I love it. People seem to be enjoying it. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? The Pod Go, where does that fall? Like, do they have like more entry level and then more advanced? Like, I know that Helix, like the big boy, that's probably a more expensive, more advanced unit. So is the Pod Go kind of like, hey, I'm ready to get into this?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I used to start with the HX Stomp. It's this little one right here. And I would always say, hey, let this be your first one because it's real compact. You can put it on a pedal board. And this is like my first love. This is what started it all, But more and more, I'm starting to recommend the Pod Go just at price point and it being an all-in-one unit. And so I was gonna make a course for this first, and I thought, well, let me let my start, my first course, the one I'll make mistakes on, be the Pod Go, and that still might be true. But at the same time, I feel like, man, the Pod Go is just more accessible financially, the cost, and then it's all in one. And it's got more buttons, and you don't need other gear to make it work. And it sounds great. Right. And I have all of them, the Helix, everything. And I pull the Pod Go way more often than some of the other ones, just because it's lightweight. Really? Yeah. It's just so easy. The only other one I do, like this Sunday, I just played through this. Like, I was thinking about this too. Like, I have all this gear, which would have been a dream years ago, as I was trying to like save my money to buy one pedal. And what's funny is, I have these big pedal boards and the Helix, and then like yesterday I just threw this in my guitar case, and this was amazing. You don't need all that stuff. But but yeah, the Pod Go is definitely what I'm recommending more and more. And so I was like, I think that needs to be the first course anyways, and it's helping a lot of people as we speak. So yeah,
that's really cool.
And so I want to continue that. I think I'm learning. I don't know if people care about this behind the scenes stuff, but I'm learning like what people want, and so I think my next course to me may be a little more broad. I want to do one about like worship leading. Like, if you were a worship intern and I would just pour out everything I know in like a systematic, organized way. That's a course I have mapped out. I still have to record it. And then I want to do like a generic tone course that's not so niche down to like not only the Helix world, but this is just the Pod Go. It's pretty narrow. I want to do one of my next ones. I want to do like just a generic electric guitar tone course, no matter what gear they're using. So that's cool. Coming. That's coming soon.
Yeah, and I could see that being, because I feel like Jackson, my guitarist now, I only have one electric guitarist now, but his tone suffered tremendously, and then he got some of your preset pack, one of them, I don't know what you sent him, but he got that, and he sounds so much better, and he's getting better as a player, but also his tone, man, it, like, especially this past Sunday, I was just like, man, thank you, Jimmy.
Man, I appreciate it. Yeah,
it was, yeah.
That's the Expanse pack. So I sent him that because we're friends, and I mean, I'm not friends with him, but I was glad to be able to bless him that way.
I mean, he'll never forget it. Like, he watches your videos, and he'll never.
Well, what's cool is it's you only pay once, and then you're in for life, of the product. Anyways, I don't know how long I'll live, but as long as I'm doing it, so that's cool. So it's like a subscription, but it's not, because you just pay once. Right. So anyways, and it
updates and stuff, like you.
Yeah, I update it fairly regularly. It's not a schedule. Since it's not, that's one of the reasons I didn't do a subscription, because I was like, I can't commit to like making sure it's once a month or whatever. Sometimes it's 3 months because there's nothing new to post. I don't want to just send crap out, but
that's cool.
I'm always putting stuff in there.
I mean, it's highly valuable too, because what if something did happen to you and everything just stopped? They still have that.
They still have
So
it.
it's
Yeah.
so it's not like they don't have what they have.
Yeah.
But that won't happen. You're gonna go forever.
Yeah, exactly. And I had a comment the other day where somebody was like, "Hey, I wanted to get the Expanse pack. I thought if it was 10 good presets, I would think I got my money's worth." And he was just blown away. And he was like, "So many presets are in there." And my wife was asking me how many are in there. I was like, "I don't know. I just keep putting them in there." But I think it's like 75 presets now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. Anyways, so what's next? What's new? You asked me. What's new for Worship Leader Hangout? What's next? What's on the future?
Well, okay. So I, if you don't know this, if you're still watching for some reason and you don't know this, I love to go behind the scenes at churches. I really do, and that's why I started it so many years ago. I have a good playlist of those videos. Not 100 videos per se, but like I have a good. I don't know how many I have now. There's a good amount of behind the scene videos, and I literally just walk around and talk to either the worship leader or the tech director or whoever, and we just talk about the stuff, like the space and the stuff, and it's just fun to do. So what's really cool, and I'm really, really hoping, and I'm totally fine with saying this because if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Who cares? But AVLX out of Nashville, so that's audio visual lighting extreme or something. I don't know. AVLX, they're a huge production company, reached out and said, "Hey, we want to sponsor some behind the scene videos, and you go to some of the places that we've done some recent installs." We have a church lined up in Texas, and I'm really excited about that. So hopefully all this works out. If it doesn't, like I said, oh well, I'll go to other churches. It doesn't matter. But I like to go to churches that there's something about the church that makes it maybe slightly more unique, whether it's a friend that I know there, or it's or some kind of affiliation with me, or something about the church just sticks out. Like there's a reason why I'm there other than me going, "Hey, can I come to your church?"
Right.
And so that's why I haven't. So for a little while, probably for about a year, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I had a lot of people reach out, "Hey, come to my church, come to my church." But I couldn't swing it then. But AVLX, with being a sponsor on those, I can go to more churches in a lot more areas, Texas, and they've sent me a list, and so we're kind of putting that together. It's slowly happening. So like I said, if I go to that church in January, I'll be super thrilled. And then just continuing to document different parts of what I do as a full-time worship leader and what I'm working on. I don't have courses. I don't have a specific type of videos that we make. We might start doing some song reviews again. I think that would be a lot of fun. I am looking for an editor, so maybe we can. Maybe we can.
And you do sell those little strips, the little.
And I sell these, and you can make these yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean for the?
The monitor
in your monitor. The P16. Yeah. So I thought about doing another video on that and just like a refresh, and then I do want to add in the. I started working on it. I don't know why I stopped, but the. You might use them now. What do you use right now?
You talking about the P16s?
You still use the P16?
Yeah.
Okay. So Allen and Heath, what is that one called? Do you remember? Anyway, the Allen and Heath in-ear box, kind of like the P16. I am currently working on one for that.
Gotcha.
So I just got to go. So I made it, and I have the file for that. I just got to go get one from a friend and make it, size it, make sure we're good to go before I can sell it.
Yeah.
And I don't sell them for much at all, barely anything.
Right.
And it's just to show hey, let's be a little bit more professional with the small stuff. I got an idea of a video coming out, or not coming out, but I got an idea of a video that I sort of started working on the other day, and that is not being. I don't know if complacent's the right word, but
okay.
I'll just act like it is, but not being complacent about things that are messed up or broken, and then having a workaround. There's always that light. It's we don't use that one for this particular reason, But then we can use it sometimes. So what would it take to fix? Oh, just change the bulb. Then just change the bulb.
Then change it.
Or yeah, we put tape on that. I was like, well, what would it take to fix it? Well, we just said buy a new one. Well, how much is the new one? $20. Buy the new thing. Like, why are we doing this at the church?
Right.
You know, so that's that whole video. Like, there's several things around my church, like in my own areas, that I'm like, why haven't I replaced this or fixed this? And then I found a workaround on our lighting software when one of my interns left because of an issue. He's like, yeah, I don't know why this issue keeps happening with this particular light. And he so he did a workaround. And then I'm like, all you had to do was find the right patch on the software. And I took a little extra time. I found the right patch, and those lights are awesome now.
Nice.
And I don't know. I those kinds of things blow my mind because I'm guilty of it. We all do it.
Right.
But it's like, just get the motivation to do this and
I'll
go
do
to
it
my
tomorrow.
links below. Yeah. Or I'll do it and go to my links below and buy some stuff.
Yeah.
And no. But it does help. And that video will be, I'm not afraid to say it, but that the video will like push people to possibly, get some things online and stuff and just kind of help, financially. But that'll be one of those, like, you do your, however many things for worship leaders for Christmas.
Yeah.
That kind of video, but something that makes sense for my channel.
Right.
For stage and whatnot. But anyway, but it's true though. Like it drives me crazy. I hate workarounds. I hate jerry rigs, but anyway.
Like these lights. Come paint these. Come paint this.
I will come paint. That'll be a part of my video. Why have these lights?
Just paint it. Just paint it.
I know. Hey, I do it too. So let me see. I don't know. Anyway, I do it too.
Everything's perfect over there.
No, it kind of no. My security camera has been out for over a week, and all I have to do is reach up there and reset it. And I have not
just reset it.
I've not done it.
Just do it.
Oh man, where is this podcast gone? I hope some people have found some value in what we said today. But
you know what they should do? If they did, they could like it if they're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, they really should. They should like this. They should go follow you, subscribe to you. You do a lot of content. I love what you do, man. Keep doing it, please. I know I've said this a million times, but when I see your frequency and consistency, I'm like, yes, that gives me motivation to know a little bit of your personal life. Like, wow, if he can do it, I can do it. If we can do it, this is to my audience, if we can do what we do, you definitely can. You definitely can. Like, if we can lead teams, have families, do videos and stuff like this, like whatever you're trying to do, just do it. I don't know, maybe the Holy Spirit's just telling you right now through us, like, whatever it is you're thinking about right now that you're sitting on, just get out there and do it in the name of Jesus, and he'll guide you through every bit of it. So,
Quit being lazy. You just got to do it.
Yes, sir. Well, I think that's about it, man. We could sit here and talk forever, but nobody would watch that.
Yeah.
It would benefit us, though.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me on
absolutely.
here.
It's always a pleasure. Yes, sir.
Blast.
And I'm excited to see that tour of your studio.
One day. Very soon. Maybe in January.
Okay, good. Good.
Maybe.
Good. Your studio tour and my broadcast room tour will come out at the same time.
That's
because I'm never satisfied with that video.
One day.
Anyway, man. Thank you so much. And remember to subscribe. Well, you don't have to remember that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go to Jimmy's channel. It's called Hey Worship Leader. I have a link below. Subscribe to that. Show him some love there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you got to this point, you are incredible. If you're listening on Spotify or anywhere you listen to podcasts, thank you for listening. We love you. And remember, great worship leaders are always learning.